Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at upnradio.com.
Welcome to Spirit Speaks with James Van Praagh, a pioneer of his time and one of the world's most celebrated and respected mediums of our time. Please welcome spiritual teacher James Van Praagh on Universal Broadcasting Network.
Hello. Hi, John.
Hey, James. Welcome back.
Thank you very, very much. Nice to hear your voice.
You
I'm
too.
happy to be here.
Yes. You've been all over the place, haven't you? New York and...
I just got home from I worked for 10 days, and that's when I did the show last week. I did it from upstate New York at a institute called the Omega Institute, and that was a 10-day teaching, which was great. And then I did an event there in Connecticut, Ridgefield, Connecticut, and then I did an event in New York, and then my last event was Philly on Sunday afternoon.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that backstage tour you gave everybody. That was pretty cool.
I did a Facebook Live. I just said, "Hey, I got to share this with everybody because I'm just sitting here backstage. I want to share this with everybody.
Yeah.
Because, well, I should be back here by myself. Let everybody enjoy it and see what it's like before you go on stage. I thought that would be kind of fun."
Yeah, that was. I'm sure everyone really loved that. So you were on stage with how many people? Just yourself?
Oh, just me.
Okay.
Just me the whole time. Yeah, me the whole time. And I taught one class about 150 people, the next class about 40 people for the week. And it was all about using your soul's intuition and honoring yourself. You listen to your soul's voice and getting back into your power, empowering yourself. And it was great. It was really, really wonderful that people could go there and do that and take the time to honor themselves.
In the city of brotherly love, right?
Yes, city of brotherly love.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, John, and everyone that's watching this, I always lived by this. The past maybe 7 years, where I try to live as mindfully as possible each day, to be mindful of the moments. Because I think it's just the moments that we have, and this is really interesting. So when I was teaching, this phrase came to me, so I'm going to use it tonight for everybody. I was bringing everything tonight, what I learned all week and what I was teaching, and it was, we come here with borrowed time, and we need to make the most out of borrowed time. So the analogy, if you're going to borrow something from someone, a neighbor or a friend, you borrow something, and you're going to return it better than it was when you got it. And so it's the same thing with the time that we're given, because we're not given tomorrow, and yesterday is gone, so we're just given this moment now.
Yeah.
So we have to try to make the best of this moment now. So it's living mindfully. And when you do that, you just go with the flow. And I always say, go with the flow, go with the flow. So I went with the flow for the past 10, 15 days. And here I am again after flying all day. I'm here on the radio.
Oh, you're so dedicated. Thank you.
But I'll tell you something. Going with the flow, when you do that and just open up to the flow and just go with and take away judgment or take away, your ego from the situation, you really give space for miracles to happen. So I was driving with my friend Katrin down to Philadelphia, and we came across this Buddhist temple, this Buddhist center, and we went inside, and it had the largest Buddha in the Western Hemisphere.
Wow.
And it was really trippy. So we went with, it was very, very interesting. This lady who was a tour guide for a group of 40 people, she was explaining about the Buddha and about Buddhism and so forth. And she's tempted to move toward myself and Katrin and leave the group alone. And before you know it, her group left, and she came over and started speaking with us and sharing her teachings and wisdom. And then we met her in another building, and she did it again. And so tonight I'm going to share a little bit of her teachings. And it's really weird how a lot of her teachings are very similar to my teachings, just said differently, but same thing, just different way of saying it.
Yeah.
So what I want to talk tonight about, you know about this. Because of the show, we've run into lots of people, over 900,000 people, and a lot of people that I've been doing readings with for over 35 years. And there's always a common theme in the message from the spirit world. And I want my job here on this earth is to help as many humans as I can to kind of open up their minds, to look at something differently, perceive something differently. And I wanted to do an evening seminar about forgiveness.
Nice.
And because I find that there are a lot of people that are trapped and suffering, and it's self-imposed suffering
Yes.
of forgiveness. They're not able to forgive someone that wronged them, someone that abused them, someone that wasn't there, someone abandoned them, someone that
Mm-hmm.
hurt them, someone that killed someone they know, a parent that lost a child through someone that killed them through a car accident, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
There's always a sense of forgive the unforgiven. And I wanted to do this seminar. So tonight I'm going to talk about forgive the unforgiven, and all the calls we'll take will be about that. And I'm going to do a seminar next Wednesday, the 18th of October,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be right here. Well, I'm doing Facebook. It'll be there's a whole code and everything I'm going to give out to everybody. But I wanted everybody that watches this broadcast and listens to it to maybe think about taking that seminar with me. It's a one-night seminar where I will share with you different processes and meditations and insights from the spirit world about forgiveness. And one of the things I have to say, it's really weird. So I thought about doing this. We had it all set. And thought, okay, well, let's have a date to do this. It'll be next Wednesday. And when I was in Connecticut this past weekend, it was really, really weird because there was a lady whose father came through, and this lady was in the balcony. And I said, "Your father's here. His name Mark." Yes, the father's name.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, he all these details came through. And then I said, he wants to bring through your mother. And she goes, "Oh." And I was like, "Okay, here we go." So the mother came through with the details, her name, or how she passed away, and she apologized. She said, "I'm very, very sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I just need your forgiveness." And this girl said, "No, I can't forgive you."
Wow.
So the 600 people like, whoa. I said, well, she's coming here today, coming all this way in from the spirit world to ask, please forgive her. She did not know any better. Please forgive her. Try to see it from her point of view,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe you would have done the same thing if it was you. She goes, I just can't forgive her. And I said, she's sorry she was angry to you. She's sorry she didn't demonstrate love to you, didn't understand things. She was always very quick with you, didn't have time for you, always very, very angry. She goes, yes, she was. Yes, she was. I said, but we have to look at the reason why. And then the mother said to me in the spirit, she goes, my childhood, I was affected from my childhood. And I told the lady, I said, she's affected from her childhood.
Yeah.
And she said, yes. And the lady said say to the audience, she just started speaking out. She goes, when this lady, her mother, was a child, when she was 6 years old, she was taking care of her 4-year-old brother, and a car came and hit the brother. And the mother and father blamed this woman, this girl, for his death. So she had to live her whole life under this, that she was responsible for his death when she wasn't. She was a 6-year-old
Wow.
kid,
Yeah.
and she never, of course, had to live with that. And that came out when she had children. She started giving that energy to her kids and
Mm-hmm.
being angry because she never had a life of her own.
Yeah.
So she was trying to make her daughter see the reasons why behind the anger, and that she doesn't want her to suffer anymore. The mother suffered enough when she was alive.
Right.
Want her daughter to suffer, not forgiving her, because forgiveness, not forgiving people, it's self-suffering.
Yeah. So she wanted to break the cycle.
She wanted to break the cycle. She wanted
Mm-hmm.
her, and she wanted her to be free in her
Yeah.
life. Because
Mm-hmm.
when we don't forgive somebody, it's really it is it's self-imposed suffering,
Yeah.
and it really is. We don't know why people do certain things, and once we don't forgive somebody, they're probably okay with it, but it's us who have to get the result of it, and they're probably fine. So we have to take care of ourselves. We have to be aware of inside ourselves,
Yeah.
take care of the sacred vessel, and the first step to loving ourselves is forgiving ourselves. We have
Mm.
to be able to forgive ourselves and be willing to forgive ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think people have a hard time forgiving?
I think people have a hard time forgiving because they're locked up to what I call attachments. So there's an
Mm-hmm.
attachment. And I think in this physical world,
Mm-hmm.
we get so caught up with that this human body is something,
Mm-hmm.
that these things that we possess are things. They, for some way, validate our who we are and what we're going through and that we're alive.
Mm-hmm.
When really it's not. They're traps, they're illusions. We're not this body. We're not the things around us. This
Mm-hmm.
is not us. We come up with these things, but this is only temporary. This place is temporary. It's an illusion, and it's going to go one day.
Yeah.
But the only thing that's going to stay is the love that you gave out and how you treated yourself. And we got to be sacred. If we want magic to happen in our lives, I always say this to a lot of the callers. If we want things to manifest in our lives, if we want happiness, if we
Mm-hmm.
want abundance, if we want love, then we have to provide the atmosphere around us and within us
Mm-hmm.
to have that situation, to have that, if you will, the space to receive the energy. But when you block something with not being able to forgive yourself
Mm-hmm.
or forgive someone else, you're blocking all the areas of your life. The energy cannot get through. And this Buddhist that we went was happened to talk to, thank you, Spirit,
Mm-hmm.
she was talking about why do human beings have to hold on to things? They just got to let things go. It's the ego getting in the way. The ego. She said, what happens to children? She was a Chinese lady. That's my
Mm-hmm.
Chinese accent.
Mm-hmm.
She said, look at children. When children fight, when children get into an anger, a fit, they cry and they scream, and then they're over it.
Yeah.
They're over it. They don't think of it again. They don't give it any more space. But we give it space. We don't need to do that. We'd be so much happier with letting it go,
Yeah.
learn the lesson, and then releasing,
Mm.
because it affects our life in so many ways.
Do you think people hold on to the anger, the pain, the resentment as a form of protection?
I think it's an illusion that the protection.
Okay.
I think that, yes, I think they're boarding themselves up. They're bounding themselves with
Mm-hmm.
they don't want somebody to come through because they don't want to be hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
And really, they cannot be hurt. It's really how you receive the information. So
Mm-hmm.
I often say how people treat you is their karma. How you receive it and what you do with it is yours.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
Have to meet people where they're at. There can be some people who are very, very new souls who don't appreciate love, who don't appreciate trust, don't
Yeah.
appreciate friendship, don't
Right.
appreciate family. They don't know any better.
Mm.
And then there might be some that are much more evolved or aware. We got to meet them, the same where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be better than or under them. We just meet them where they're at. But
Mm-hmm.
we always have to try to be. People say, "Well, why can I have love in my life?" And really, the story is, if you can love yourself, then you will draw love to you. But if you're not, if you love yourself under conditions,
Yeah.
then you're closing the door. It's very, very true. And it affects every aspect of our lives. It really does. It goes for every aspect of our lives, family lives, romantic lives, life and success, job life. It
Mm.
affects every area. And I know this because I've done this 35 years
Yeah.
working with forgiveness and helping people out and seeing the changes when they start forgiving themselves.
Wow.
So if everyone has a pen and paper, write down this information because it'll be a seminar next Wednesday. And at the end of the show, I'm going to give you a code. There's going to be a code for just my listeners here, just the people that are watching us to go on. So it's the Forgive the Unforgiven, and it's on my website, which is www.vanpraagh.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you guys additional 20% off. How's that? So I
Excellent.
already have a reduced sales price,
Mm-hmm.
but today, my group, I'm going to get extra 20%. So I will give you the code at the end of the show or during the show. And then we're also, I'd like, John, is it okay if we do during the show? We'll
Yeah.
do like different processes that I can help people with.
Sure. That would be great.
And I'd like to maybe do some questions tonight about forgiveness or
Yeah.
people have that. So if you want to open the phone lines to people about that, that'd be great. And we'll also readings in between, but I'd like to get some kind of forgiveness questions there.
Sure. And folks, I would like to remind you when you do call in, we haven't opened the call lines yet, but when we do, please do not be on a speakerphone. Please listen
Yes,
through your
please.
telephone handset. Yes, because it really throws James into it. Yeah. So be sure to not be on speakerphone. You will be able to hear the show when you call in, so you won't need to have your computer really on as well in the background. You can listen through, unless you like to see James, just mute the volume. So otherwise we get feedback. So again, so please don't be on a speakerphone and to mute your background noise so that we can have a peaceful call.
And I've had a lot of people say, "What do you look at when you're at your desk?" James?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, I wanted to show you. I look at these crystals. Ooh,
Oh,
Allanite
nice.
crystal.
Uh-huh.
Yes, another one that someone gave me. This one, another crystal someone gave me. Very nice. And
Wonderful.
then, yes, lovely. Another one. So
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
the whole crystal city going on over here.
That's great. All right,
help
so I'm going to give the number out. It's 323-649-8268. Again, 323-649-8268. Call in for questions about forgiveness or if you like a reading, but please keep in mind that we're going to limit calls to 5 minutes. 5 minutes at the most. We have thousands of calls and we need to get through them, so please.
Yeah, that's really helpful
Yeah.
too, John. Because we want to get as many calls as possible, but definitely forgiveness calls would be great.
Yeah,
So,
that would be awesome. All
Okay,
right, so I'm
ready?
going to open the floodgates now with the
Okay, open the
calls. So here we
floodgates.
go. So I'm going to get our first caller on the line here. And it looks like our first caller is from 405. Hi, you're on the air with James. Can we have your name, please? Please mute your
Oh,
background.
that's so she didn't listen. We got to go to. She
Hi.
didn't listen to our directions. Hello.
Pam, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, you're on the air with
There you
James.
go, Pam.
Good evening.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm good. How can I help you?
Well, I feel like someone from the other side is trying to contact me. I know it doesn't kind of fall under the umbrella of your topic, but I
Okay.
keep receiving signs that are relate specifically to him, and
And who is it
I need some
specifically that we're
clarity.
okay? So when
His
anyone
name,
calls it, Pam, if anyone calls in, if you call in, if anyone calls in tonight, and you want to contact one specific spirit, that would really help me to zone in because I can't just say if we go, who's around me. That's not going to help me to zone in because of time. So what's the name of the person in the relationship?
his name is Steve, and he
Steve.
was an old boyfriend.
Okay. Were you guys ever going to get married? Was there talk about that?
No,
Never. Did you ever go to dances, a dance or dances when you first met each other?
no, but no, but music and movies were very
I
prominent in
know
our
that he wants to
relationship.
dance with you. I know he wants to dance with you, and I know he's goofy dancing, and I know that. And
Okay.
I want to tell you about his heart not feeling good. So my chest doesn't feel good, so my heart or my can't breathe here. So would you understand anything with
Yeah.
that? You understand that?
Yes.
Yep. Because I
Yes.
know when he comes in, that's what he wants to talk about. Would you understand, Pam, that he might have had any connection with a Mustang car at one time when he was younger?
Well, I don't know, but he had a Thunderbird that he loved.
Thunderbird. Okay, Thunderbird. I'm gonna say Mustang because I don't feel Mustang. So I got to go with what I'm seeing. So just remember that or write that down. I got to tell you, you must know his brother.
Yes.
Okay, so you know his brother's still living down here. His brother's around.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't know if you recently saw his brother, ran into his brother, or weirdly got connected with his brother in some strange way. Did that happen?
Yes.
Okay, so Steve is pulling the ropes on that one. So they do that. They will influence things. Steve has said he's a really funny guy. He said you're better than he is, Pam, and he always had this sense that you were better than him. He always had this sense that you knew yourself better, you understood things more, you were someone who really got people. You're a little bit more. How can I say this to you? Aware, okay, than he was. A little more empathetic than he was, and he's sorry he couldn't meet certain levels. And I got to tell you that I think you're definitely soulmates, and I think you've been together before in other lifetimes. And I think that he's okay. Gotcha. He's funny. He's coming in fast. He said, "It's me with the outdoor lamp." I don't know what that means. Outdoor light. Something with an outdoor light he's been playing around with. And he said, funny. And the bedroom light. Some of the lights. He's trying to maneuver lights. Okay. And he's also telling me
Okay.
that he's so funny. You must feel him around you when you're sitting down in a chair. I understand that. I understand that.
I
So,
always feel him around me.
do you ever have a glass of wine? You're sitting at a chair. Did that happen recently?
It happens all the time. I
Okay.
feel him all the time. I feel his
Totally.
energy around me all the time.
Okay, well, definitely it's him. Then it's him, and it's when you're eating or drinking or at that time of night, and it's he comes in and he's massaging your feet, and he's sorry that things didn't come out the way we wanted them, but things weren't meant to be a certain way. But he can help you now from the other side of life, and I think you're very open to that, and I think he's definitely a guardian angel of yours, Pam.
That's
Okay.
wonderful. I see repeating numbers, and I pick up coins that relate to the year we met and the year he died. Are
Facts.
those
Yeah, it's him. It's him. And you're very connected. You're very connected. You should be working on your psychic. Did you take my psychic course, the certification course yet?
No, I want
Honey,
to. I'm
honey,
taking those steps.
honey, you're perfect for that. Yeah, you'd be perfect for
Okay.
that because you need to hone in on your intuition. So whether you take the course or not, at least you can do meditation, sit in the stillness, start listening to the voice within. I really would like you to build that because you're really, really. He's trying to help you with that too. So, Pam,
Okay.
I hope to see you again. Thank you,
Thank
sweetheart.
you very much. I
Okay,
appreciate
honey.
it.
Okay, bye bye.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Pam.
Bye-bye.
So, James, you mentioned the course. Is this the Hay House course, or is this the course that you offer through your school?
So it's through my school, the James Van Praagh School of Mystical Arts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on there right now,
Mm-hmm.
and the Forgive the Unforgiven is also the latest course in this school.
Right.
And that school page, if people go to it, they can go through all the different courses that are available. And I make things a 1 day course, or it's free courses, or it's a 6 week course. One is a 28-day transformation course, which you have to take every day consistently in order for it to happen because the energy is building. Another great popular one, which is great,
Mm-hmm.
fabulous, a day in the spirit world, where I guide them through
Yes.
one full day of being with the spirit world, and it's really cool how I help them to let go of the mindset where they think and the rational mind, and they move that to the side,
Mm-hmm.
and I just work with them, and they leave the body because we're so much more out of the body than in the body as a
Right.
soul. So I have them recognize that soul self, and that's just one of the exercises in the morning. And then the afternoon, they go and meet their guides, who bring them to a space to meet family members, who bring them to another space to meet their guides, a much other guides.
Wow.
It's a whole wild stuff that was channeled. So that's also in the school.
Oh,
So a lot of
right.
different types of courses, John.
So that's jvpschoolofmysticalarts.com for everybody
Right.
listening, and they can check out all the courses and meditations there. Great. All
Yeah.
right, so let's move on to a next caller. It looks like Connie from 910. She's calling about
Connie.
forgiveness. Hi, Connie. You're on the air with James.
Hi,
Hello,
Connie.
James.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Hi. I'm okay. I'm going through a really difficult time. I just feel really stuck,
Okay,
and
tell
I'm
me.
wondering if am I supposed to be forgiving someone?
Yes.
I think I have, but
Okay.
I
So
don't
why
know.
why are you stuck?
I'm really struggling at work, and my ex-husband died last year, and it just put me into a deep depression, and I feel like I just can't get anywhere, and I feel like I'm stuck in my job, and
Okay.
I don't know what
So,
to do.
well, first of all, you better take the seminar. So later I'll give you a little code to take the seminar, Connie, because I think it'll really help you in your life to move forward. Because sometimes we get stuck in old ways of thinking, old ways of behaviors. You're also very, very sensitive, Connie. So you pick up a lot of people's energy without even knowing it. Like these people at work, who I'm not crazy about the different people that work with you. There's a lot of drama there and you get caught up in that. You don't need that. That's not who you are, but you're so sensitive and empathetic, you'll pick up that stuff, and they try to divide you on two different sides, and that's hard for you because that's not who you are. So you'd be really, really great. If you can take the seminar, please do. What's your husband's name?
It was my ex-husband. It was Steve.
Excellent. Steve. Okay, great. Steve. Okay, so let me just put that out there to see if Steve can come in while we're talking. Um, and what's going on with your work? Why do you have to be at that job? Can you look for something else, or what's going on?
I've been there 32 years, and
That's a long time, my
I'm
love.
trying. Yeah, and I feel like I'm ready for a change, and I want to move on, but I'm just scared.
Right. So you're fear based, which is in your head. So that's part of being in your head too much. And you got to go from the head to the heart. And the best thing for you would do is to do the breathing, just getting back to the breath. So in just a little while, I'm going to do a process. So make sure you stay on the line on Facebook where you were listening or is watching this, so I can do that with you. The man Steve that passed, your father passed over as well.
Yes.
Okay, because he's the one that comes forward first, and he's so very interesting. He wants to forgive. He wants to be forgiven. How interesting is that?
Oh.
So he's saying to me, James, would you please forgive my forgiveness to my Connie. I wasn't the father she wanted. I wasn't her father like I should have been. He's going on about this. I should have been more attentive. I should have been there. I should have been there more than I was not there. So he wasn't there when you needed him, he said. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I know that 11 years of age, there must have been a birthday party or something at 11 years of age. He's going on about he should have been there at 11 years of age. So I don't know if you can remember that, if there was some kind of a birthday party or gathering that didn't show up or he was late for. Did he have a drink, by the way, your daddy?
No.
He didn't. Why? I mean, because he was late to a place. He was late. He was late getting to some place. I don't know if he didn't make your graduation. I don't know. There was something in your life he didn't make. He said. He also said he just wasn't there for you like he should have been. Do you understand that?
Yes, he just worked a lot.
Okay. So was it Joey or Joe or Joseph? Does he know someone named that name? Joe?
Oh,
Joey?
Joe is his brother who just passed.
Okay. So he's with Joe, and he wants you to know that.
Yes.
And he said you what? You're better than you think you are. That's interesting. So you're better than you think you are, and you're setting that up in your thoughts there, Connie. You're so much more than you're a healer. You're a great person. You really are. You're really a nice, nice person, Connie. I don't think that job deserves you. I think they take advantage of you.
What?
Let's just put it out to the universe that you can find something else. But we first have to heal what's in ourselves and how we take care of ourselves. And you have to really heal the relationship of yourself, that you're worthy to receive, that you're worthy to get a better job. That you can't let people dump on you. Can't do it. Can't do it. That's not allowed. We don't let people dumping on us because you have to love yourself enough that, you know what, I'm worthy. I'm the sacred vessel. And you know what, I'm not going to take that energy. I don't deserve that. I deserve something at a higher level. And it's just you honoring yourself. And when you put that energy out there, that vibration, you'll attract that in your life, and you'll attract better conditions in your life. Okay, do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, honey. I think you're great, Connie. I know that the Steve, was he married to another woman? Was he married or with someone else?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And he's talking about not being able to get your phone call, or wasn't there when you called him, or wasn't able to return a call, or didn't return a call, something like that. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
he's just acknowledging that. He said she'll remember that, and I'm really sorry I did that. So again, he's asking for your forgiveness. Yes. He said you were his teacher. And he said he had, oh, yeah, really? He said he had a little bit of a temper sometimes. It was slow to
Yes.
build, and then we go boom.
Yes.
And he's a really
Exactly.
exactly right. And so here we go. I was picking it up earlier that you no longer need to be the doormat, and he taught you that. He wants to help you now. Isn't it interesting? And they do that. He wants to help you. I don't know if you had children with him. Did you have a child or two
Yes.
children?
Two. Yes.
So, yeah, those are two children. There it is. Got two children. Put that in my head. Two children. And I want to give my love to my kids. My kids. Not tell me a boy or a girl. He just tell me like two kids. And I should have. He's talking like this other guy. He met the other man that was here. The other girl's guy. How funny. My father. I just got to tell you, they all come in together. He's so Steve's okay now. I don't know if he had cancer. Do you have cancer?
Uh, Heart attack.
Another heart attack, just like the guy before. Wow. I don't know why I'm up in this area. I don't think that's the only thing that was wrong with him. I think there was something else that I don't know if he had prostate cancer at once, but he's talking about a cancerous condition. Sorry. And your sister's living, right?
Yes.
Because he wants to say hello to your sister, and so does your father. He wants to say hello to your sister.
Okay.
Now, your mother, I'm not getting your mom, so she's still living?
Yes.
Okay. So I know something feels. He's telling me your father's saying something's not right with her feet or her legs, or that needs to be
Yes.
addressed. You understand that?
Yes.
And he said, please
Yes.
have that looked at. Please have that looked at. And he's trying to help her from there. Would you tell her I'm okay? Oh my God. And would you let her know he hears her speak to him every morning and every night. And she sits by herself and has breakfast, but it's not by herself. He's with her. And I think that must be in a little kitchen or something.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And he's with her. He's so with her. She knows it. She talks to him all the time. Like he's sitting there, and he is sitting there. Just reassure her and reassure. And who has his watch? Does mom have his watch?
I have his watch.
You have the watch. Okay. Because he mentioned the watch to me. Mentioned the watch to me. So he loves that you
7
have
years.
that.
Battery hasn't died yet.
7 years and the battery hasn't died. You betcha, baby. And I don't know. The birthday must be coming up, or birthday just passed.
My daughter's birthday's coming up.
Okay. Because he'll be there for the birthday.
Okay.
He's going to be there for the birthday, and he loves you very, very much. And I tell you, honey, stay with us. We're going to do a little processing a little bit, and I definitely want you to take the course. It's not expensive, and it's worth every little penny that we're going to pay. But stay on the phone. So there you go, Connie. God bless you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Connie.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Hey, Connie, my first book is dedicated to Connie. How do you like that?
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, we have another caller from 734, and she's asking about forgiveness. Can we have your name, please? It's James.
Hi, James. I'm Jonda from Michigan, and
Jonda. How do you spell that, Jonda? How do you spell that name?
Jonda. And I have a sequential birthday, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, that's wild. You're crazy, huh? That's fabulous. Jonda. What kind of name is that, Jonda? I like that.
I'm Scotch, Irish, and English.
That's a great name.
So
does it mean something?
I haven't delved that far. I've just found ancestry records that date back to 1621.
Okay.
When my family came over to America. But
what's your question?
I'm calling about forgiveness.
Tell me.
For my my mom passed
Yeah.
in 2004 at a very tender age, and I feel really guilty. I carry a lot of guilt around.
Why?
I felt like I wasn't a great daughter, and I didn't develop a relationship with her like I should, and I feel like I have more of a bond with her in death than I do in life, and I have guilt for that. I feel guilty.
Well, first of all, let me tell you that you're creating that yourself, because your mother does not feel that way.
Oh.
Your mother does not feel that way. Your mother and you are very similar. Your mother was also very independent in the minds. She's very independent. She does things her way. You do things your way. You understand that?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
and she's right with
Yeah.
you with a bunch of people coming in. Her mother's there with her. There must be an aunt over there. I don't know where your dad is, but I know
Yeah.
there's a man over there as well. And I just know that your mother's going on about how she's right with you. She said, "You think I'd come in alone?" She said, "Don't." Oh, that's
Nope.
interesting. Now, so John, she said to me to tell you, don't do that to yourself. Oh, this is interesting because you hurt her more feeling guilty now than you need to. It hurts her to see you upset. And that's true of all spirit. I'm telling you, they will often say when they come around us, they see the atmosphere around us. And when it has dirt and
Mhm.
debris in there, because we're do suffering, we're self-imposed suffering, they don't want us. They love us too much to see us suffer. That really hurts them. So please don't be like that, your mother. You did as best as you could. You did as best as you could when she was alive. So you don't need to hold on to that. You can release that. Okay? You can release that.
Yeah.
Now,
Do you,
did your dad have cigar boxes when you were growing
my
up? Was there a
grandfather,
cigar? Your grandfather.
my grandfather did. Yes,
Okay,
grandfather
and,
did.
and didn't he give you a cigar box once to put your things in or to hold your things when you were a little
Oh,
girl?
yes, yes. I have a vague memory of that. Thank
So
you for sparking that. Yeah, I was a little, very little.
you might have been 4 years of age or 5 years of age, but I
Mhm.
know that he's there with you. And you come up to his legs, like he's sitting in a chair up to his knees, and he's laughing. And he said, "I gave her my cigar box." It's very, very interesting to put your things in. But I don't know if you had a top or you had some marbles, but all these things you put in there. He said to me, it's very, very funny. And there's a Mary or Mary somewhere as well. Um, so Margaret Mary connection on the spirit side of life. So I don't know who's that. Is that on his side? Can you recognize
Oh,
that
that's
name?
probably that. My uncle Carl Ray passed away, and his wife was named Margaret,
Margaret.
and that
Okay.
was my mom's brother.
Ah, okay.
Uh, uh,
That could be very much so. Okay, she's with them, and she's with your grandmother, who's very tidy. Grandma's very tidy.
what about my sister Gina?
Did she pass over too?
My sister Gina died in 1992 at
Wow.
29 years old.
Wow.
Very
Wow.
sad
Wow.
death.
Wow. 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 What was it?
And
Was it
they're
drug
buried
related or
next to
was it
each other.
what did she
No, she
die
had
from?
cancer,
Cancer.
melanoma skin cancer
Hmm. You don't feel
that was
guilty for it. I hope
undetected.
you don't feel guilty for her death.
Well,
Gina,
I
don't do that, Gina. Don't you dare. Don't do that. Don't play God. Don't do that. I think your sister had it. Every soul comes back with its journey, with its blueprint that it has to go through.
hmm
And I think that
hmm
some spirits go over early to help us out on our path down here, and they have to make things happen from the other side, and that happens quite a bit. Your sisters, can I just? I'm from New York originally, so I have to use the word pisser, pisser and a half. She's so funny. She is a riot. And that's how I want you to remember her.
who
But
is
she's laughing. She's in my head laughing, and she's just a pisser. She's
Gina?
just so yes, yes. She's very
Yes,
very
she is.
funny. She's hysterical. She's a cut up. She's a real cut up, and she loves Halloween. She's gonna come back for Halloween. I don't. You must. Oh, interesting. You must have either gone looking for pumpkins or going to go look at pumpkins or going to do something with Halloween coming up.
Yes,
Okay, because
yes,
she
we're
said you
going to the
must.
pumpkin patch.
You would just think. Oh, you were going. You're gonna go to the pumpkin patch.
hmm Yes,
Perfect. Because she said to my mind, she
yes.
just said to me in my mind with this thought, I was with her when she thought about going to get the pumpkins. So I know I'm going to go to get the pumpkins with you. And she's laughing her rear end off. She's so funny. Now be careful of the one.
Aw.
She said there's a dent in your car. You won't get it fixed. Why? What's wrong with that car? Was there a little dent there?
I
Is there a
just,
dent?
yeah, I just bought a brand new car, and I just noticed there's a dent on the on the hood, and I I kept looking at it, going, how, why, when, and then I thought, well, I can't think about that because yeah.
That's
So
funny.
she
So
must be with me.
she's totally with you.
I'm
Hello?
transit.
She's totally with you. She's totally with you. Stop. You know what? I'm going to tell you something, John, which a lot of people can relate to this. Stop looking outside yourself for answers. Okay? Because you have it within you.
Okay.
You're very
Okay.
strong and you have a beautiful soul. And just start honoring yourself and the awareness of yourself. That's where you're going to find all of your
Thank you.
magic. Okay? And you must have 3 kids. Are
Thank
there
you.
3 kids?
I have two children.
Did you have a third?
No, I did not have a
Never
third.
had a miscarriage or anything like that?
Yeah, I did have a miscarriage. Yes, I did. Yes, yes,
But
I did.
your sister's saying you had 3 kids, so she's with the girl over there, telling me that. And one more thing, you're gonna have to find a ring. I don't know if you have your sister's ring, but there's a ring, and she's mentioning that.
My mom's ring. I took my mom's ring off in death out of my
Mommy's really
casket.
happy. She said, wear it for God's sake, wear it. She wants you to wear it. You got to get it
Oh,
resized. She said, get it resized and wear it.
I
Don't
do,
you,
I do,
don't,
I
don't,
do. But
don't you dare feel guilty, she said. I forgive. There's nothing to be forgiven for you, for her. Okay? I'll leave you with that.
Thank you, Jonda.
Thank you, Jonda.
All right. We have Christine on the line from 919. Christine, hi. You're on the air with James. Can we have your question, please?
Hi, James.
Hi, Christine. How you doing?
Good. I have a few questions.
What needs to be forgiven in your life, darling?
I feel that in a lot of things you said I can relate to, if that makes sense.
I do think so.
To Connie and to the other callers, about I have to learn to, I think, to like myself first.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
And
why don't you love yourself, Christine? What's going on? What do you hold yourself back from loving yourself?
I think I get drained by other people. If that makes sense, a lot of other people.
Right. So you don't need to put yourself in circumstances or situations where there are people around you who drain you. You don't need to do that. You can't do that. You got to say no. You got to make choices in your life. And if it's not empowering you, you got to say bye-bye. And whether that's family, that's friends, that's workers, associates, you got to say if it's not empowering you, if it's not the same vibration as you, and they're using you, you're picking up their stuff, if they're hurting you, you got to say bye-bye. That's not acceptable. So you got to learn that's not acceptable. You're going to make the right choice for you. You got to love yourself enough to say, that's not working for me. It's taking care of your sacred self, sweetheart. You're very sweet. No reason for you to overwhelm yourself with other people's stuff. But what else is going on? Why don't you feel worthy of love? Okay.
I think it's because.
Is there an addiction? Is there an addiction problem too? Is like alcohol or addiction of some kind?
No, maybe food. Replace it with food.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I want you to do something. I want you to take my course next Wednesday, please. Okay. Forgiven. Write that down. It's September 18th. I'm sorry, October 18th. October 18th. And I'll give you the code in just a little while. But I want you to take it because there'll be a lot of stuff there to move. It's going to free from your pain. There's no reason why we have to hold on to pain. It's not serving us anything. It just holds us back. Pain holds us back. It's like a wall, and we can't experience life with the pain. And how do we move forward? So I'm going to give tips on moving forward, even when it seems impossible. There are ways when we get back to ourselves that we can get through. We're meant to be happy here. We're not meant to suffer. We're not meant to suffer. But we have to have the relationship with ourselves first. People see you from the outside, what they see, but you're the only one that sees you from the inside out. Right?
Very true.
Remember that.
Yeah, very true.
Remember that.
Very true.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so true.
Thank you, Christine. We'll see you next Wednesday. And stay in line for the code. Okay, thank you. All right, John. One more call, John, and we'll do a little process.
Sure thing. Let's go to 510. I don't have the name, but 510, you're on the air with James. Can we have your question, please?
Hello?
Hello? Who's this?
This is Vicky.
Hi, Vicky. How are you?
I'm good.
What's your
question?
Nice
to be able to talk with you.
Nice to talk to you, Vicky.
I have a question. My daughter passed away 3 years ago.
Your daughter? Your daughter?
Yes, my daughter, Mariah.
Mariah, okay.
And I had to make the decision of pulling the plug.
Take off life support. You did the right thing, she said.
Yes.
You did the right thing. You must have gave her doll before you did that, a toy or a doll or animal with her before you did that. Does that make sense? She was in a coma?
She was in a car accident and she was brain dead.
Okay. So there must be something about you have a stuffed animal of hers or a doll of hers. Do you have something like this, a stuffed animal? Hold on. Did you have a viewing of her body?
We were going to, but we didn't because they
Okay.
couldn't.
Okay. You couldn't bring yourself to it, which is
They just couldn't.
understandable. She's
Yes.
great. I have her right next to me, and there's a man coming in with her. But one thing I got to go on because she's very pushy, very strong. She said you have a stuffed animal of hers. You have some stuffed animal.
Oh, probably. I probably got a few that she has given to us when she was alive.
Uh-huh.
But
Yes. So are you still in
I
the same house that you were in with her, or no? Did you move?
no. She lived with her dad out in Pennsylvania. I live
Oh,
in California.
okay. Okay. Great. 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 And hold on. Yep. There must have been a wedding coming up before she passed away. Was there someone's wedding in the family or a wedding people had to go to? She said someone got married after she
Mm,
died. She said she went to the wedding after she died. She went to the wedding. I'm not sure if it was a cousin of hers. There was someone that got married, maybe on her father's side of the family. I don't know. Maybe someone he was with.
maybe.
Did.
I don't
She,
know. I
okay.
don't know. Not on my side.
Okay. Okay. And was this in an evening time she got in an accident? Was it nighttime when this happened?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Just
Yes,
wondering,
it did. It
every
was.
spirit communicates very differently, and she gives talk about you should please keep that thing with the stuffed animals. It's not even a doll; it's a stuffed animal. I gotta go there. And she said, "You talk to her dad still?"
Sometimes, once in a while, yes.
Oh, well, would you call him tomorrow and tell me you had a conversation with her,
Yes,
please?
I
And
definitely will do that.
and mention to him about the
Because
stuffed
we I had
animal,
a
the stuffed toy or animal.
yeah, I will.
Wait, before you go on, let me just
I
go on.
will
Let me
ask
go on.
him.
Let me go on, Vicky. She's also talking about dad is by himself, and I know he hangs out by himself, whether it is in a garage or he's by himself at work and is in front of his computer. But in front of the computer, there must be a photo on the side of her. There's a photo of her next to the computer on his desk, And she said, let him know that. She comes in and she puts her hands on his shoulders and massages his shoulders. Okay, and he must wear glasses. He
Yeah,
must wear glasses because his glasses fall down. She's telling he wears glasses. Go on,
he
and
does. He does wear glasses.
he
Yes.
does, and he does. And you have to ask him. She's telling me something about either redoing the glasses. He had to get he couldn't find his glasses. Some issue about the glasses, and I'm going. And she said, "Mom, I didn't feel a thing. So she didn't feel anything when the impact happened, and she's happy you did what you
Oh,
did." She's happy you did what you did. And
okay.
there must have been another person involved or two other people involved with this. Were there two
Yes.
other people in the car with
Yes.
her or what?
In the other vehicle, there was a girl and her child.
And did they also pass?
No, no,
Okay. And are you in touch with them?
no. I didn't know the person.
Okay. No way you can find them out, can you? There's no way you can find out about who they were.
I know I know her name, but
So
she's
there's
never
yes,
tried to
because I know
contact
you have a
me.
newspaper clipping or something your daughter's telling me. So would you do something for this is really interesting how this happens. Wow. John, this is very interesting how this is all evolving.
Yes, it is.
So Vicky, your daughter wants you to do a favor.
Okay.
Wow. She wants you to contact that lady in the other car. And I don't know, was this lady's fault for the accident or someone else's fault?
Well, they're saying that it was weather and my daughter ran a stop sign, but I'm not really sure.
Okay, can I
They're
just
they're
say to you,
blaming it on my.
can I just say to you something here? She's making it very, very clear to
Sure.
me. Very, very, yes, I understand that. What? A rabbit? A rabbit foot on her keys? You must have some kind of a rabbit foot or a lucky charm on keys. Does that make sense to you?
No, it doesn't. I don't know.
Did she have that?
I don't know. Maybe her dad knows, but
Find out. Would you?
I don't
Definitely.
know.
Without a doubt. There's something magical
Yeah.
or fun. Okay. She wants you to call up this lady that was in the accident. The lady in the accident can't forgive herself for her death.
Okay. Yeah, I've been pretty hard on that because I've never really talked to her. I've been holding a lot of anger in.
You don't need to suffer. Don't need to suffer. You're really don't. She wants this lady to have forgiveness. Now, isn't this interesting? We're talking about tonight. But your daughter,
Okay.
Marana, Mimi.
Mariah.
She
Yes,
said I can call her
Mariah.
Mimi. Okay, I'm gonna call her Mimi. Thanks, Mimi. She said you can call me Mimi. Okay, I'm gonna call her Mimi. She said I'll call her Mimi. Okay, I'll call you Mimi. And she said, Mimi. Okay. She said, "Would you please call that
They
lady?"
used to call her My My.
Oh,
Her
my
nickname
my.
was My
Sorry, I
My.
thought it was Mimi. Sorry, that's what she showed me.
Yes, My My. They used to call her My My.
Sorry, that was me. My. I thought it was okay. And I know that she wants you to please contact that woman because this woman's been holding on to this ever since the accident, and she doesn't. Wow, and that holds your daughter back a little bit.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, okay. Okay. Yeah, I've been a little afraid to. I've been trying to reach out to her, but she doesn't respond through
It's
the
okay.
Facebook. I found her on Facebook,
You can
but
say
she
you had
doesn't respond.
say you had a dream of your daughter last night, and she wants to tell her that she loves her, and please forgive yourself because she forgives her. That's all you have to say.
Is she with my mom too, Mariah?
My, or I'm gonna say Mimi. Mimi. Yes, of course I am. She gets her nails done nicely. Her nails look very nice. Your mother's nails look very nice. Your mother's nails look nice.
Oh my goodness.
You understand that, don't you? That was a big thing
Yes,
with
I
your
do.
mom. Yep, that was a big thing with your mom. She still gets her nails done, but in a different way. I still make her dress the way I want her to. Okay, she still makes her dress the way she wants her to. You understand? That's so funny. And I know that someone must have lived in a trailer or some kind of a trailer or something at one time.
Yes, that her dad does.
Ah, her dad does. Okay, so she goes there all the time and visits him. Would you let him know that, please?
I will. I will.
And I know that he must have a doggy because she sees the dog sees her all the time.
I know the dog passed a year before she did, so I know.
Must have a new one.
I don't. I know about a cat, but I don't know about another dog. But
I'd like a cat. I'm seeing a dog here. See if you saw a dog. There's a dog around. I just got that. All right, my love. We'll leave you for that, and please join for the seminar.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks for making that call to that lady. Really, really appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye, James.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Sure is. You were going to lead us in a.
I was going to lead everybody in a little bit of a. This is a impromptu kind of process, but it's going to be It's from the seminar next week. It's one of the processes I have down to do. So I'll do it again next week, but in different, more intense than it is now. So I'm just going to ask wherever you're watching this or listening to it, except for if you're in the car, right, John? We said you can. If you have an iPod,
exactly.
You're listening to it for downloading it on a, what is it called?
Podcast?
Podcast, thank you, podcast. Please pull across the road.
Yeah.
We don't need an accident.
Yes.
Need an accident. And it's very simple. The technique is very, very simple, but it really is a great one. It's a great one because everything is thought, and it's where we direct our thoughts. And we are more out of the body than in the body, as I said earlier. Our souls are out here, and the atmosphere around us, our mind, is really what we create with our thoughts. So if we're going to create suffering or upset or joy or love, that's there as well. But I just want everybody just to close your eyes for just a moment, and I'll play a little music behind me here, and we'll just see what's going on. Okay. So just close your eyes, and as you close your eyes, I just want you to be mindful now. Just be mindful of your body, and be mindful of the feet, your legs, your backs, your chest, your neck. Be mindful. There we go. Of just the heart, your heart space. And as you become aware of the heart space, just gently as you close your eyes, just breathe in through the nose. And as you breathe in through your nose, just send out an intention and send out a thought. That with each breath that I take, I have wisdom. I have an awareness. I have knowledge. And as you exhale, you're just going to release and let go of any old energy, any stagnant energy, any thoughts there that are not your thoughts, anyone else's energy you're holding on to. And just let's work with the breath and just breathe in and the inner wisdom and exhale. And as you breathe and bring a beautiful light of inner wisdom and inner knowledge, and inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And just paying attention to the rhythm of the breath. Inhale and exhale. That's fine. Just fine. And as you inhale your breath, bring in that wisdom. Just imagine that you are your breath. Imagine that any way you'd like, as sparkles, as a liquid, as a color. Just bring in the breath in throughout the entire body and let your breath go to every cell, every muscle, every tissue, every organ. Just become familiar from the body, from the inside out. Good, very good. And inhale. And exhale. Good. And just let your soul self, bring you to a space, an area in your body where you're holding on to tension, where you're holding on to energy. And that energy comes from a space of not being able to forgive, of self-sabotage, of suffering, of not loving yourself. Without judgment, just observation, bring yourself to that area of the body where you find that energy. It might be in many spaces, but just go to one space in the body where you know it is there. And inhale to that space. And you're there. Good. And just becoming familiar with your mind and your thoughts that you're holding on to a dense energy here in this particular place in the body. And just ask your higher self, your soul self, why are you holding on to this condition in the body? What is it you can't forgive? Why are you holding on to this condition in the body? Why is it you can't forgive? And just go now to that space of not being able to forgive someone. Perhaps you go to the heart space, the emotional center, where you're holding on to something, some old energy that someone did something wrong to you, did something that hurt you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever it is. Just go now to that space, that hurt, that space of not being able to forgive them. And begin to see their face. And as you see their face, just let your heart open. The heart's magical energy of love comes forth. And with that energy of love coming forth, illuminating the face of the person you have a hard time to forgive, try to understand them when they were a little child, a younger part of their life. What is it about them they don't feel centered? Something might have happened to them. Let yourself see now why they behaved a certain way. What was their motivation behind their behavior? And just see it, just being aware of it. The first step to forgiveness is awareness. So become aware and understand why they acted out, what motivated them. And now send them love and understanding, because you don't know, if you weren't in the same position, you might have done the same thing. And just breathe into that and bring it love. And exhale and let it go. And as you let go and heal another, forgive another, you're actually forgiving yourself. So be aware now as you look into your body how that space may have cleared, may have moved just a little bit. That's fine. Just opening up your awareness of being. Take a deep breath back in the body. Exhale and slowly open up your eyes and be as one. Here we go, John.
Wow.
How was that?
Mm.
So many things that, everything is energy. And we are God. We are God. We are that creative force. And when we're in line with source energy, that God force energy, God says yes. And everything's created. Everything happens where it's abundant. We're supposed to live happy lives.
Yeah.
But the ego says no.
Yeah.
So the ego's holding on to something. I want to feel bad because for whatever that reason is, I want to make them feel worse. It's not like that. We're all connected. You got to meet somebody where they're at.
Yeah.
What came up for you, John? I know there was a deep one, and
Yeah.
you went really deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think what came up for me was friendships. When you have certain friends that have been in your life for a long time, you forgive and then you give them another chance, and then you think that it's going to be different that time around, and then you learn that lesson of learning, I guess, to let go and move forward in order to clear space for someone who's going to be, I guess, energetically on the same level.
Unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
Unrealistic, and it's common.
Yeah.
I've been there too. I do it. We all do it. Unexpected realizations. We want somebody to be there for us, like we were there for them,
Yeah.
and that can't happen because they're different people. They
Mm-hmm.
don't work the same way we do. So we got to meet them the way they're at.
Yeah.
And that's, if you want to repeat that pattern over and over again,
Yeah.
then you will. If you won't step back and say unacceptable. I really want a friendship with someone who will honor that and give back 50-50. A
Mm-hmm.
friendship should be 50-50.
It really should. Yeah.
Otherwise, don't need it. It brings you down.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true. I had to get rid of some friends who were very close to me. Like, no, it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. Give, and never get back. No, it's got to be equal.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, and I think a theme that we've seen with a lot of the calls too have to do with setting boundaries, reclaiming your power,
Yes.
letting go of people or situations that rob you of your life force,
And when we can't do, when we don't set proper boundaries and healthy
Yeah.
boundaries, we let in those psychic vampires, and they
Yeah.
rob us of our energy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll talk about that at the seminar. So
Yeah.
that will be part of the seminar. So for everybody who has a pen with them, I'm going to tell you about the seminar. It's next, the 18th, which is next. When is that? October the 18th,
Mm-hmm.
which is next Tuesday night,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be at my school, JVD School of Mystical Arts, or you can go vanpraagh.com
Mm-hmm.
and find it. And I have a code for you to get. I'm gonna give you 20% off. It's not that expensive. It's like $20. I mean, it's nothing. But it's just the energy that we're exchanging.
Uh-huh.
So it's here's a coupon for everybody. If you use a code, I forgive. Letter I, same, no space, lowercase. I forgive. IFORGIVE,
Uh-huh.
and that'll give you an additional 20% off of the $29, whatever it is. It's very little, and
Excellent.
that'll give you everything right there. But it's gonna be really good,
Mm-hmm.
and you can use it over and over again. It'll be taped, so you can download it anytime you want it. You can have it, and it's techniques and it's ways of. That was just one process, and that was a small process. But I have
Right.
about 4 or 5 different processes I do, and then I'll do another one later on, a simpler one. But it's just bringing us back to the awareness of self.
Yeah.
It's and giving ourselves back the power
Mm-hmm.
and not giving our power away.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people think that in order to be loved, they have to give their power away. They got to do what people want them to do to be loved, and that's an illusion.
Yeah.
Let people love you just for who you are, not what you gotta create for them to love you. That's a trap.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to be happy, we have to be happy with ourselves. We got to love ourselves before we're going to love anybody else. And of course, we have to forgive ourselves before we'll be able to give somebody else. And
Right.
if we don't forgive ourselves, we're just suffering.
Yeah.
It's self-suffering. And those in the spirit world don't want us to suffer. They really don't. This past 10 days when I was working in all those demonstrations, I can't tell you how many people came through from the spirit side of life and said, please, please forgive yourself for my passing. Forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I worked with parents who lost a child suicide, and it was just an amazing experience about forgiveness and moving that dark cloud away
Yeah.
and learning the fullness of that lesson.
You had mentioned that people play roles in our lives, right? It's blueprints, souls.
Soul groups,
Ye-
whole family, you bet.
So,
Family, friends.
do you think it's might be a little easier to realize that maybe they're playing the role that they contracted to play so that you can easily
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
In order to, I'm not saying it's easy, but it might give a little perspective in how to let go of it because you know that they were just playing a role in your life to help you grow.
To help you have realization.
Yeah.
So they're putting the light bulb on. So they might be a certain character in your life,
Mm-hmm.
a certain role in your life. And, we have people in our lives come in for a season, a reason, or a lifetime.
Yes.
That's it. Season, reason, or lifetime.
Yeah.
And before we come back into the incarnation, we will sit with our guides and our teachers and go over lessons that our soul is going to learn. We go over a blueprint, and we work with our soul groups, families. One lifetime be with a mother or the father. This time you can be the child. We take all these different roles
Yeah.
to learn the different aspects of what it's like to have a relationship as a son, as a daughter, as a grandparent. We have to learn how it's like to lose a child, lose someone by suicide, lose someone by a heart attack, relationships, the end of a relationship through divorce or death or however it's going to be,
Yeah.
honesty, integrity. They're all lessons.
And during the life review, we view that experience from their perspective, correct? So if we hurt somebody, we when we're at the life review, we experience how they felt on the receiving end.
There's so much here we're throwing at people that are watching this. I don't want to freak them out so much because it's so much. Because this is a lot of stuff being thrown for them to process. But yes, it is true, John, that we all have a life review. And your life review, when you first pass to the other dimensions, when you leave the body, which is very natural. We do it every night. We go to sleep. You will be met by all the people in your life you wronged.
Wow.
And all the loving people too, the ones you have love bonds with. But all those people you ever had, who wronged you, did something wrong, they'll be there too. You have to see things from their point of view.
Yeah.
And it's not. We talk about judgment. We are our own judge when we pass over. There is not God that goes, you go there, you go there, you go there. We're our own judge and jury, and we just look and see what lessons we learned and which ones we failed, which ones we didn't have enough compassion or understanding or forgiveness, and we'll do it again next time. And it'll be set up another time. But part of knowing about what your lessons are and making the right choices is knowing who you are, being aware of who you are as a soul. And how do we do that? But self-awareness, becoming mindful, becoming aware of living in the moment, living with yourself, understanding who you are and what your heart feels like. Because when people come from their heart space instead of their head space, they can make the right choices and not rationalize and not use the left side of the brain. They use the heart space where your soul is located and where your truth is located, your intuition.
Yeah. And your book, Power of Love, that just came out, right?
That's done. Power of Love is my new book. And that comes out November 15th. Which
it's not out yet.
It's not out yet. It'll be November 15th, and I will be doing a lot of media. So a lot of people see me on television and radio and print. And it's probably, Adventure of the Soul was a great book too. But Talking to Heaven was the very first book that came out in '98. My first book. And this one actually meets that level, if not even more. I don't know. It's so every one of my books is different, but this really does talk about my 35 years as a medium and how to use that force or that energy that spirits come through with, because they only come through in love. That's the only way I'm able to make these connections. When there's a desire from the living and the spirit, the bonds of love is what comes, how they come through. So I talk about the bonds of love, how to contact spirit, how you can open up that space of love, how you can use love every day in your life, the power of love. And people can pre-order it on Amazon right now. It's they can go to that. And also my deck of cards, which is the Power of Love activation cards, which I'm going to mail to you, John.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do actually a whole show on that.
Great.
They're also available. And that was something when I sat in my meditation and my guides came through. It was a new guide, too. It was a woman guide who I had not seen before. And they said, you're going to use the power of love in your cards as well. I'm like, huh? She said, there are a lot of people who don't know how to activate an aspect of love within their soul. So I'm like, okay. So she said, these cards are going to do that. So
it's interesting.
Cards are all about activating love.
Yeah, it's interesting you had a new guide come in right after writing the guidebook.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that well? You know what? It was the love cards.
Yeah.
And that she
specializes
in.
Yeah.
I guess what came through in those cards. So,
wow.
And they were really pretty trippy because I wrote them or channeled them a little while ago, 7-8 months ago, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, wow, I don't remember doing half of this. So,
you were in a trance. Huh?
We all are. We're all mediums.
Yeah.
So we should probably get more phone calls.
You got it. So let's get on with forgiveness here. We have Jen on 631. Jen. Hi, you're on the air with James.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, James. It's Jen.
Hi, Jen.
From Long Island.
So this is so weird. But you know what, John? You're going to freak out. John, guess who I met this weekend?
Jen.
Yes. I met Jen. Right, Jen?
Yep, in Fishkill.
In Fishkill. I
That's
finally
awesome.
put a face to the name. And when she said, hi, I'm Jen from Long Island, I said, no, you can't be. and you're so beautiful, Jen. You really are a little angel.
Thank you. Thank you. It was so amazing meeting you finally in person.
Those were some readings the other night, weren't they?
They were amazing. Amazing.
The whole
I
family,
enjoy
the son
them.
that came through, the whole family in the row. It
Oh
was
my
like
God.
the
The
son. This
whole
guy
row
came
stood up.
through.
It was great.
Yeah, the whole row. He said, "My mother
Mhm.
and father are here. I died in a car accident." And then he went and named. He said, "My whole family is in this row."
Oh,
And
wow.
I said, "Oh," he said, "your whole family's here. All stand up." They all stood up, and he
Oh,
started naming who they were. Oh, that's my aunt. Oh, that's my cousin. Oh, that's my
oh,
sister. That was
wow.
wild, Jen.
And what about the guy sitting one away from me, the truck
Uh,
driver? How that man was like, "That's my stepfather," and you were saying all this stuff that he was just getting choked up. He couldn't even speak.
Raymond, wasn't
It
it
was
Raymond?
amazing.
Raymond, I think it was.
Yes, yes,
Raymond. That was my favorite reading all night.
Mm.
It was a guy, John, that was in the first
yes.
row, and I guess the stepfather came through with his name was like Raymond or something, and this guy's name was like Raymond. I don't remember exactly
Hmm.
the name. And he talked about this. He was his like he loved him. Thank you for carrying him when he died. He carried his body around. He said he was with him in mechanics.
Mhm.
He was fixing planes. And the guy goes, "Yes, I'm from the Air Force. That's what I did. I was a mechanic in the Air Force." And then he named the books in the guy's bookshelf. And then he named when he's with them in the car and he smells the pipe. What about that, Jen? And he said,
Okay, yeah,
"Ah,
and
that was
that
so
was
weird."
amazing. When he asks him to change the smell or the type of tobacco, and he says he asks him to change it to
The
cherry,
cherry.
and then he says he does it.
And then this guy is driving his car, John, and he smells the cherry tobacco, John.
Oh.
It was a wild night. It was
Uh,
great. I love that guy. I wish that was taped. That would have been great,
yeah,
John.
I was just thinking that. I was like,
It
did
would have
you
been.
Yeah.
record
I'm gonna
that?
from now on. I'm gonna hire like a film
For
crew
yeah,
to
for
do
yeah,
these
videographer.
there's
Yeah.
too much good stuff that.
Mm-hmm.
So Jen, you're coming next week, next Tuesday, right?
Hopefully, where is it? Where am I going?
Online.
You're going online.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes. The
I,
forgiveness. There's so many things that I have to. I forget them all.
I'm gonna give you the course for free. How's that?
Wow.
Oh, well, thank you. That's
I'm
awesome.
gonna gift that to you since you're always just a great person. You're always there and you're always helping.
Thank you. So I actually have a question on forgiveness,
Okay.
and it doesn't have to do necessarily with me.
Right.
So I I have, since reading all of your books, I've become more of a centered person, thinking about
Oh,
where other people come from and all these things.
and you're a healer. That's
And
when I met you. You're a healer. I said that to you. You're a healer.
I kind of feel like I am as well, and things don't really anger me.
Right.
And first, you said when I met you that I've gotten readings before, and I haven't. I want to know if my grandmother Lorraine thinks that it's okay for me to forgive Anthony because I do in my heart, but everyone else
Yes.
around me and family and friends all think that I shouldn't.
Yes. She said yes. He didn't know better.
So,
He didn't know better. She said. He didn't know better. He didn't know better. This must have happened
okay.
when were you young?
A year and a half ago.
Was it a husband, ex-husband, or family member?
Fiance.
Fiance. Ah, okay. Okay. Doesn't know any better. Yes.
Ex
You should. Yes.
now.
Ex. Well, that's fine. Forget. Yeah, you can forgive him. I know he's playing around or whatever, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. He was a teacher. He's a teacher. Yes, forgive him. Why would you hold on to that? Forgive him. What good is it holding
So
on to?
how do I get others to
You can't.
forgive
You can't get.
and
You
have
can't.
him forgive?
You can't. The only way you can do it is by forgiving yourself, and educating them, which is how we're going to forgive ourselves with being aware of self, living in the moment with yourself, having a relationship with yourself, understanding the higher truths that you're holding on to something that's holding you back, and they are too. You have to live by example. And it doesn't. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get them anywhere. There's no. What's the reason why they're holding on to it? He didn't know what he was. He wasn't thinking. He wasn't thinking. He did some stuff, but you know what? That comes back to him not loving himself, not having a relationship with himself, not believing in himself, not knowing you. So you understand what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, will he ever forgive himself and want to move forward
I think the first
with
step is.
things?
I think the first step is you going through the forgiveness yourself, and then being the
Mm.
healer that you are, you'll talk to him and you'll give him the, if you will, the atmosphere to forgive, and open him up to awareness, a certain perspective of things. So taking the course, the seminar is going to I'm going to teach all that. I'm going to share with you looking at forgiveness a different way, how you can teach others, and I will give you techniques and tools that you can use with Anthony. No doubt about it.
Okay.
All right.
And so does she think that we should still get married? Or does she see us getting back together?
Oh, I understand that. Yeah, she's just funny, your grandmother. Why do you think he's going to bring you happiness you can't find inside yourself? She said.
No, I'm happy. I'm unhappy without him.
Why is that? You got to be happy within yourself.
Because I was ready for forever, and now that I reacted the way I did.
She wants you to wait. She wants you to wait. She wants you to wait. I agree with her. Wait just a little bit. Let's go through the seminar. Let's see what happens, and let's wait a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jen. Good to talk to you again.
Guys. Thank you.
And make sure John has your information.
Can we?
I do. Yeah, I have her information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. Bye, honey.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, honey.
Excellent. All right, so we have time for a few more because I have to get into Shirley and Kelly's show coming up here.
Shirley and Kelly's show, my good girls.
Yes. So that show will not be a call-in show, unfortunately, tonight, but it will be a very interesting psychological show
Hey,
tonight.
John, can I also mention to everybody that's calling in that if you want a reading and all that sort of stuff again, and a chance, tomorrow I am going to be at Hay House, and I'm going to be doing a radio show there, but I'm doing 3 radio shows.
Ooh.
So, 3 in a row, so it'll be 3 hours worth of shows. I know, it's crazy. 'Cause I'm going to Europe, as you know, and I'm gonna make these shows for that time, but I will be taking live calls. So hayhouse.com, you can go to, and that's Talking to Spirit, and that's just go there and you'll find out when it's going to be. 11 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time, or 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time, or 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time. So 9 through 11 Pacific Standard Time, and go on my website or go to Hay House. Okay.
Excellent. All right. So 708 is on the line, James.
Okay, 708.
Hi, can we have your name, please? 708, are you there?
This is Joey.
Hi, Joey. How are you?
I am good. I don't get starstruck, but you are awesome, and
Thank you.
I am totally starstruck right now.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, breathe. Breathe in the light and let go. Good. Where are you calling from, Joey?
Chicago.
Chicago?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Chi-town. Chicago. I love Chicago. How can I help you, Joey?
Yeah, I wanted to see you when you were in St. Charles, but I couldn't.
Okay, well, I'll be coming back. I'll be back.
My grandma passed away about 12 years ago, and I was kind of mad at her.
Why?
And I wanted...
Why were you mad at her?
Because she chose to go.
Because she
and kill herself.
Suicide?
She didn't kill it. No, she didn't. But she knew she was going to die.
Yeah?
If she had a heart surgery.
Okay, honey. And what's her name?
Phyllis.
Phyllis. Okay, so let's just see what we can do here for you. So first of all, just so I understand, honey. So Joey, so she was she had something wrong with her that she was going to pass. It was terminal.
Well, she had a heart valve, and she elected to have surgery.
Yeah.
She was going to die. She took me and my sisters all out for. She literally called it the Last Supper.
Well, let me just say something to you, my love, Joey. You're very, very sweet. Phyllis is your grandmother, you said?
Yeah.
And your grandfather's over there as well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's around with her, and there's a Paul.
Well, she was married 5 times.
Well, there's a grandfather, there's a Paul over there, and there's a John over there. All these different people. And her mother's over there, and her sister's over there, and her brother's over there. All these people around her. This Phyllis lady, let me tell you, you must have either lived with her when you were a young little girl, or she used to come to your house a lot.
She lived here when...
And didn't you and the girls take her shopping sometimes?
All the time.
Okay. Because she comes back in my mind with this memory of you guys bringing her out shopping, and then we have lunch, and then we go shopping, and we go downtown, or maybe it's downtown Chicago, but I know that it's having lunch, and she's laughing, and she's a riot, and she's like my friend Olivia who just passed recently, who also similar circumstances, and she didn't want to go on, Phyllis. She's sorry. She said her time. She said her time was up. She said her time was up, and she said there was a man on the other side of life who she wanted to go see again, her true love. So I don't know who the heck that was, but it was her true love. And
was it Jerry?
Was it Jerry or a J? A J name. I know it was a J name. It was. I was at their second marriage or what?
Oh my God.
It was her true love, and they couldn't be together. She said. Who's your mother's father? Okay. I think we might have lost Joey.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
We'll move on to our next caller. It looks like they are calling about an issue with suicide. 970. Okay. 970, you're on the air with James. Can we have your name, please?
Cynthia?
Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia.
Hello.
Hi, sweetheart. 970. Where do you live?
Colorado.
Colorado. Okay. Where in Colorado?
Greeley.
Oh, that's so funny. I was just talking about Greeley 2 days ago. I was there, right? You saw me there?
Yes.
Okay. It was really funny. I wanted to have a steak that night, and there was no place open in Greeley, Colorado, where they make the steak. It's hysterical. How can I help you, my love?
So I wanted to know how am I supposed to forgive my husband who committed suicide.
I knew it was a man. Look, I knew it was a man. I wrote down husband, man. And his first name?
Michael.
So remember, definitely please the seminar. Remember, it's I Forgive is a code. Please take it because this will help you. Number one, you have to meet someone where they're at. Turn your radio down if you can.
Yeah, in the background. Please mute the background. Thanks.
Yeah. So you have to meet people in the same way where they're at. Okay, where they're at. And I think with this, wow, it's interesting. Michael, you said his name was?
Yep.
Okay, so you got to turn all the way down because I still hear my voice and feedback. Okay, cool. I think that he didn't have a good relationship with his father, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And he carried that with him his whole life, and he tried to please his father, and he was really angry with his dad, and really angry with his dad, and he wanted his dad to accept him, and he never did. There was never acceptance, and there was love, and it was anger. Was his father alive when he killed himself?
No, his father actually died in a fire when he was like 3 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's what it was. He was angry at his father. Okay, so he was angry at his father, and he wanted to be with him.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I kind of do understand that. He was.
It's nothing to do with you, honey. Nothing to do with you at all, Cynthia. Had nothing to do. Don't take this personally. You have to take the higher road, which is understand the perspective of it. He was hurting with not having his dad. Didn't feel he was whole, so he had to go be with him.
Okay, I get that.
Okay?
Yeah, I do. I get that.
Okay, honey. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, no, I never know why someone does certain things, and that was really interesting. I knew there was something related with his father that wasn't expressed. So, isn't that true? He died when he was 3 years old, and he never felt there connected. It's really interesting. You never know what's going to happen. So, forgive the unforgiven. So, for those who are interested, John, it's Wednesday. It's Tuesday the 18th. When is Tuesday the 18th?
Tuesday the 18th.
October the 18th. Next, yes. And for those who are interested, go to my website, vanpraagh.com, and you can find the details in the top banner. And the code for people who want to register with an additional 20% off the already reduced price, because I want to meet a lot of people, is I Forgive, all lowercase. That's small I. F-O-R-G.
And that's on the screen for everybody as well. So we're going to move on to 805. We have Susan on the line. Susan.
Great. Hi, Susan.
Hello.
Hi, Susan. How are you doing?
I'm good.
805. Where do you live? Upstate New York?
Oh, no, I'm in Thousand Oaks.
Oh, California. How can I help you, darling?
Um, I've been struggling with my parents' death and the stuff that has happened in the past, and I have a hard time with forgiveness, and I wanted to find out if
Okay.
they are, go on,
You know why you're having a hard time with forgiveness?
tell me why.
Because you live in the past. Because you're
And I'm
living in the
trying to get
past.
out of the past.
And you can't live in the past. You got to live in the moment. The past is gone. Hopefully it taught you something. It helped other people. It helped you, and you have a life right now. You have to live in this moment. You're just merely existing. You got to live in this moment right now. The past is over. The past, if a lot of fears come up, a lot of anxiety comes up, that's all from the past. If you're living in the present moment, you won't have fears because fears can't exist in this present moment. And upset can't exist in this present moment. Because when you start connecting with yourself and the awareness of you, you realize that the past was the past. It didn't define who you are. Because you're bigger than that, you're better than that. It taught you things,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. It taught you how to interact with
Oh, it
people.
did.
Sure, and how rich that it taught you these things. It might have had to take you several lifetimes to learn what you just learned in your this childhood. So there should be
I
some
agree.
grace. Exactly, right? So there should be some appreciation and gratitude for mom and dad for being so difficult because they taught you information, they taught you lessons about yourself you wouldn't have learned so quickly maybe. You might have had done other many different lifetimes. That's my psychic impression. And I think that you're hard on yourself and you know better. You know better, sweetheart. You know that.
Oh, I know that.
Okay.
And
So
it's
then
taken a lot of work to get where I'm at.
well, you're not like you were before. You're not like you were in the past. So
No.
come join me next Tuesday on the 18th because I think it'd be a perfect seminar for you. And you can always use it. You can always download it and have it to remind yourself and use those meditations and use those processes. Let me ask you something, sweetheart. Okay? Let me ask you
Mm-hmm.
a question. Just close your eyes for a second. Just close your eyes for 1 second. And I just
Okay.
want you to visualize. I think you're a very visual person. I think you're very clairvoyant, by the
Mm-hmm.
way. And I think you're a very visual
Yes,
person.
I am.
I know you are. I see it. I see you're very clairvoyant. So if I ask you now, just in your mind's eye, imagine a park bench, and I just want you to sit in a park bench, okay? Just see yourself in a
Mm-hmm.
park bench, and let's say there's an issue that you can't forgive your mom and dad about. One issue. It might be several, but just choose one. Okay.
Okay.
Good. And now I just want you to imagine that a little boy comes and sits on the bench next to you. You don't even know this little boy. And you talk to him about the problem, the situation, that the aspects of something you can't forgive your parents about. Listen to what the little boy says. What does he say?
um,
What does he
to
say?
take back my childhood.
Hmm.
I learned to have some fun in my life.
Ding, 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 ding. Fun in your life. Don't take it so seriously.
Yeah. That I
Yeah.
don't know how to do very well.
Oh well, we're gonna go start living again like things we did before, like dance classes or go out to eat or go do something fun. Let yourself have some fun.
Horseback riding.
Go. Hello, Thousand Oaks. You're right there with the horses.
Yeah,
Go.
I volunteer with them, so I took that back as one of my passions I set aside for the longest time.
Why don't you start teaching young kids how to ride?
I am. I work with the disabled.
Ding, 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 ding. Isn't that weird? So there you go. So they're teaching you every day. You're teaching them. So now you got to listen
Mhm.
and bring yourself in the moment. When you're with that one person at that moment, be living fully in that moment, and you're going to get more out of
I
it than you
agree.
ever thought possible. Okay?
Oh, I already have. I
Okay.
have.
So then you need to forgive your past. That's all. So you can join us on the 18th, and we'll give you some ways
Is
to do it.
there
But that,
anything from my mother,
what's her name?
Ruth?
Ruth. Well, when she didn't like somebody, she didn't like them. When she didn't like them, she
Huh.
said, ah. When she likes them, they're fine. But there's no middle ground with Ruth. She kind of likes them. Did she have a problem with her mind at the end of her life? What-
Ugh.
Did she
She
have a
was
problem with her mind at the end of her life? Her brain or her mind?
saying maybe the last few days.
She said her mind. She said her mind. So I don't know why, if she was in a coma or there's something that was not right. She could make up her mind, or they gave her heavy doses of something. But she said she wasn't in her right mind. That's what she's telling me. Her right mind. And you must have held her hand.
Not when she died. I had an experience where she came to me right before she died, and I saw the light of God.
You bet. You bet. And she said that she remembers you coming and holding her hand. So was she in a hospital or a hospice or something before she passes?
No, she died at home.
Was she in a bed?
Yeah, she was in her bed by herself. My dad refused to be by her side.
She remembers you. Well, that's okay. He's with her now. And listen, you have to remember back. Try to remember back in your own way, in your own mind, the time when you were out there on the bed and you held her hand, and it was before she passes over. She must have been ill. She said she doesn't have to collect anything anymore, so she used to collect a lot of stuff, but she no longer has her stuff. She no longer needs her stuff. Okay, she's talking about that. All of her stuff, like a hoarder kind of thing, stuff everywhere.
Well,
and she says
that would be more my sister.
Okay, she's talking about herself.
My mom being a hoarder.
Well, not a hoarder, but she said she just had her stuff, and she says she no longer needs her stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I know who has cats.
I have a cat.
The cat sees her all the time. The cat sees her all the time. I understand that. Why don't you live up to your what? Why don't you live up to who you are, she said.
I'm trying so hard right now to make big changes in my life. Going back to school.
Cool.
Practicing my 12 steps. And
Good girl.
Learning how to be a counselor. And
So Tuesday on the 18th, I'm going to teach you how to breathe. Okay? And that'll be part of the seminar.
Yeah.
Bringing your breath back to you. And there's going to be a whole awareness of stuff going on with the breath. And that's the first step to self-awareness, and I'll help you with that. Okay?
I can take all the help I can get.
Yeah.
I am trying
You're in your
to
head
get
too
past
much.
this.
You're way into your head too much. You're holding on to the stuff in your head.
Probably.
Oh, my God. I see it. All right. I'll talk to you next week then, Tuesday, sweetheart. Thank you, darling.
Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome, lovey.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sweetheart. Bye-bye, honey.
Okay.
All right. Can you believe an hour and a half flew by?
Wow. Well, that was a good hour and a half.
It really was.
I mean, it went fast and it was good. And I'm exhausted because I was up all day, 4 o'clock in the morning from New York. But I hope everyone enjoys next Tuesday. And for my seminar, again,
Yes.
it is I Forgive is the code. So you get 20%. And go to my website, vanpraagh.com.
And you're back with us on the 17th, right?
I'll be back next Monday.
Excellent. So then we can promote it again as
Yes.
well. All right. Well, folks, thank you so much for tuning in
everyone.
tonight.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, James. And be sure to listen through ubnradio.com for the podcast replay. Is also on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, now on iHeartRadio as well. So, yeah. So thanks again, James. You guys take care.
John.
We'll see you.
Bye, everyone.